This is the story on how a famous music producer put a curse on my throat. Me and my best friend, we're from a small town in Oregon, and we had the idea to make music together. Now, that in its own is a very long story. We started making music together, and we saw success early on, just naturally. It's just what God wanted us to do. And so we just went through the door. Like in my life, God opens a door, and I just walk into it. And every time I do, it goes well. And every time I don't, it doesn't go so well. We start to get a little bit of traction, and LA is a very small town. Like, it seems like it's big, but honestly, it's just like a high school. It's just like a bigger high school. Everybody knows each other in Hollywood, and it's very small. And so, in LA, as an artist, you're a musician, an actor, whatever, you have to go out and you have to network and you have to meet people. The currency of LA is not money, even though it kind of is. It's your network. So long story short, we end up working with my favorite artist, his main team, his producer. And it was crazy. It was very surreal. Now, I've been in situations like this before, but this one was just like everything lined up. It was so perfect. It was like the dream come true, and we're freaking out. So we get lucky. I mean, really, that's just like at the end of the day, you have talent, but everybody's talented. We get lucky. And this is a big producer. He's done a lot of really amazing songs and is very talented. Everything lines up. It's like perfect. He invites us to come to his house and like stay out there during COVID. And so we go out, and it's just like we're doing a writing camp. I've never really done anything like that. It's amazing. And everything's going well. We make a few songs. We put out the first one. It gets millions of streams. We put out the second one. It gets millions of streams. But in that process, things kind of go a little bit sour because, like, I'm a Christian. My partner in music was a Christian. They weren't. Our beliefs didn't line up. Or nothing like lined up. And so there was just like this tension that was building. And so, we all kind of decided to just like part separate ways. And it wasn't like anything horrible happened, but it just wasn't right. And it seemed like it was just deeper than the average light. Like it was like spiritual, you could tell. So that happens. And after that, every single year for 5 years, I lose my voice every time I get sick. Now, keep in mind, I don't really get sick. Everybody gets sick. You feel bad. You get the flu. I don't get anything. Ever, literally ever. And so anytime I would go to get sick, I might have like a headache for a day, and then I'm fine. Not anymore. And I never would have guessed it would come from something like this. So I go to doctors. I go to specialists, ear, nose, and throat. I go to holistic. I literally tried everything to fix my throat because every single year I would lose my voice for like 1 month to 6 months of the year. And it would happen twice a year during the flu season, like when people get sick. So I would come down with something, I would be fine, lose my voice, it's gone. I start to get so sad about this. Like, I love making music. Even if I wasn't going to put anything out, even if I was never going to be famous or anything like that, I don't really care about that. I just like to create it. I started making it in my room just for fun, and it's like therapy. And you can't do that. It gets taken away. And so I just get so sad because there's nothing that I can do. I've gone to the doctors. I've prayed. I go to church, and I'm in church, and I'm like, well, God, maybe if I sing to you while I can't sing right now, you'll cure it. And it never happens. So I stopped making music. I mean, there was just like nothing. I don't know. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know what to do. And so, this is 5 years of this. So much happens in between, and I end up living out in Arizona. And I pray, I'm like, God, I would love to, I start studying the Bible more, submitting my whole life, and just like looking into the spiritual realm. And I'm like, there's so much more to this world than most Christians give credit to when it comes to the New Age, because we think everything that's spiritual is like demonic. And it's like, who do you think created the spiritual? Like, God created the spiritual. He created that. And so I know that there's so much more. And so I start studying. I'm like, God, I would love to somehow know somebody that could do deliverance, someone that can help my life like this. What does God do? He loves to flex. He literally loves to flex over anything. He's hilarious. I freaking love him. And he brings exactly that. brings that person into my life who's now one of my best friends and just the most amazing person that I've ever met. And he brings him into my life. And he has the ability to, in the Bible, there's, about 20 different, depending on how you categorize them, there's 20 different spiritual gifts. One of them is to distinguish between spirits, and that's what his gift is. And he dedicated his entire life to serving God and helping people be set free from the bondage that we don't even know we're in. We start a deliverance session. I don't tell him anything, nothing. We go through the whole thing, and then at the end, he goes through different parts of your life, and he goes, and there's a curse on your voice, not on your vocal cords, not on my lungs, because we didn't know what it was, on your voice. I get up and start running. I literally run almost out of my apartment because I'm blown away. There was a few things in my life that were so afflicted. One was sleep, which he saw. I never told him that. The next one was my voice. The biggest thing on my life that I have done everything to fix. So he tells me about the curse, and I had made a different video on a different curse that someone had put on my life. Someone that hurt. Someone that was very close to me. And that was over my finances and over my job and my career and like my calling. And so we had already cleared that before this. This was like a separate thing. So I'm already just like, dude, this is just crazy. So then we do this. We do the whole deliverance thing. We get to this part. And then he was able to know the name of the person. And he says it was from a producer. And I'm like, he didn't even know I make music. He didn't even know I make music. And yeah, so it was from a producer. And then we go through and he's like, yeah, it's from this dude, and knows the name. And I had no words. And it was just like it was such a beautiful moment. Like there's just no way to describe that. And since that moment, in the spiritual realm, I had these electrical cords that were around my neck, and there was like 7 different spirits, down to the T of dry mouth, which is something that I had. My mouth was so dry, I could drink water for days. Nothing would fix it. And I didn't know what to do, dude. And just down to that most simple thing, like Christians don't even understand how much you're affected from the spiritual realm in the most minute ways. I'm not talking like, oh, you have some big curse. It's like in the smallest ways, your sleep, your anger, your envy, all these different little things. And that's why I'm so passionate about this now. But yeah, and since then, my voice is not only not doing that, it's better than it's ever been. It's literally better. I can finish notes cleaner. I have more vibrato, the tone's cleaner. And it just it literally doesn't make sense. And so that is the story on how a famous music producer put a curse over my throat because they were angry about how things happened. And also my partner had one too, as well, over a different aspect of his life from the same person. And yeah, it's nothing to like play around with. I just look at life differently. I'm able to actually sing again and make songs, even if it's just for myself. So that's that, guys.